Well, Wally Downs, as AFC Wimbledon, we've never really had that much of a good run in the League Cup. As your first crack at it as AFC Wimbledon manager, how much are you keen to improve upon that record?
Oh yeah, very keen. Talk I just gave to the boys, I sort of showed my age a little bit. It used to be when I was playing, you've only got 2 chances a year to get to Wembley. But these boys, I think it's four cups competitions are in it. Is it four? Four cup competitions here. So if you're a pro for 10 years, that's 40 opportunities to go and play at the best stadium in the world and have the best day of your life. So, I want to give them the opportunity to do that. And as I'm unbeaten at Wembley, I wanted to go back there as well. So, yeah, it's a great. We definitely want to win all the cup games.
Going back to your Wimbledon days, of course, Gallier's running around in midfield, Hodges chipping in past.
He weren't running around there.
Oh, no, he wasn't, but he chipped Van Broccoli, didn't he, for that goal in '83. What were your memories of that League Cup tie? Best one?
I think I enjoyed the West Ham one. I enjoyed, but no, going up there, I enjoyed playing up there. I think it was 0-0, was it, or 1-1?
1-1, yeah.
1-1. That was a great game as well, and it's a terrific memories. They were just a couple of years off of being the best team in Europe, and they were top of the league. So it was great. It gave us confidence, which I hope our boys have got from the West Ham game last year. It gave us confidence to know that on any given day, if we played to our potential, that we could give anybody a game.
It certainly were confident. I remember looking back over the footage again this morning of yourself and Gary Peters and giving Peter Brackley, the late great Peter Brackley, some trouble in interviews. But how much can you take from that of concentrating upon ourselves in the dressing room and not thinking about the away dressing room? Well,
that should always be, and that's something I'm really trying to build is a strong dressing room with strong voices in there. The boys proved that they were strong characters last year by doing what they did, but now it's a level playing field and it's a different pressure. And in the league, we're starting at everybody starts at 0 apart from the 2 teams down the bottom, but it starts level and it's how successful you can be from that position. And the game started 0-0. It's no good us being 1 down before we start playing. We've got to galvanise ourselves. Preparation, we think, is very professional, but we put the boys through, and it's about them getting into that zone earlier and quicker and motivating themselves and being able to really grab the game by the scruff of the neck and play as though we're losing or play as though we're the underdogs from the off.
We spoke after the game at Fleetwood on Saturday. We're talking about concentration for 90 minutes. How much can something like a cup tie help bring that out of you as well?
Yeah, it can, because it's my thing is you just got to be in the hat, and you do what you got to do to win the game. Now it's not sort of game where you can think, well, that was a good draw, and we'll get 3 points when we play them in the next game because we know how they do. This is just a game where you've got to win it. You've got to stay in the game, win the game by hook or by crook, and be in the hat for the next day. Just going back to the Fleetwood game on Saturday, I've had a chance to watch the game thoroughly now. And I was so pleased with our first half performance. We should have been 3-0 up. The referees, I think they've made a mistake with that the offside that they've given, and we had a great opportunity 1v1 with the goalkeeper. So I was a little bit harsh on them afterwards because I was disappointed that we'd lost, and I still am. But we could have put that game. We should have been comfortably 2-0 up before we had the chance to make it 3, and would have been a romp. So. Games change on small things and decisions, and if we'd have got been allowed to have the first when we got it, then the game is completely different, and I think we win that game comfortably.
Team news, is there an update on Will Nightingale yet?
We're waiting for the results of Will's scan, so nothing yet, and Woody's out doing a bit of running tomorrow.
Nathan Trott, is he game ready?
Probably not, because we sort of rested him a little bit when we were toing and froing with West Ham with his scan and the report, so he didn't sort of do anything from Crystal Palace, or might have been just prior to that, the week before. So he needs a little bit more. He needs a little bit more, and he'll probably have a game on Wednesday as well.
Anybody else unavailable?
No, full squad out there today. Everybody was not as bright and sharp as we should be because it's a second day recovery. But we did all the work that we needed to do, and they all hit the stats that they needed us to hit, and it was fine.
If it's level after 90 minutes, it does go to penalties. Is that something you're aware of and take on?
Yes, I'm aware of it. It's just a matter of getting hold of Pigs and dragging him kicking and screaming off of the pitch, and we'll be all right, I'm sure.
Clearly, of course, it is an emotive occasion for supporters. For players, when they join the club, they do look at dates in the diary. This will have been one they'll have looked at. You're very aware in that dressing room that they're playing for this badge and for this club tomorrow night, that they'll be up for that.
No more than any other game. It's a cup game, so it'll be ferocious, and you win it on the night. But I certainly won't be encouraging us to be any more enthusiastic or virile than I would expect us to be in any other game. There's obviously some history between the clubs. They've drawn each other in lots of cup games and all. I seem to remember. So yeah, it's a game that we're desperate to win and desperate to move on into the next round.
We've already had one very special cup night here under yourself. Well, of course, the West Ham game. Supporters really played their part in that. What role can they take in tomorrow night's game for this club?
Well, again, they were so vociferous last year and so behind us and helping us do what we did. And again, I just thought Saturday, we've got to give them more. We didn't give them much in the first half, but if we can all get together and we start virally in the first half, and they're vociferous in the first half, then that'll add to a greater performance from us and a better result and an all-round better night.
Wally, best of luck.
Thank you.